Welcome back to another episode of Falling Forward. This one is on the road, actually in the Burl Green Room in Lexington, Kentucky. With me tonight is the Damn Shames.
Hello, good to see you, man.
So maybe go around and give your name and what you do in the band.
My name is Clayton Crowder. I'm the singer and guitar player.
I'm Shepard Heeb. I'm the auxiliary player. I do pedal steel and guitar.
I'm Zach Coffey, play drums.
Trevor Smith, I play guitar and harmonies.
I'm Andrew Hopper. I play bass and do backing vocals.
Cool. So tonight you got a show. You're playing with Sydney Adams
Yep.
and Dalton Kaiser in the Downwind.
Yep, that's right. Yep.
So what time does that show start?
Starts at 8 o'clock with Dalton Kaiser, and then Sydney will follow up after him, and then we start tonight about 9:40, 9:45, something like that.
Cool. So let's talk about what got you guys together as a band. Who kind of started the whole thing off?
Well, go ahead.
This goes way back. So we've been the Damn Shames for what now? We're going on 4 years maybe.
3.
3 years. We played music. Me and myself and Trevor, we played music since 2015. Trevor and Crowder already knew each other at that time. And then maybe 2017, I think you started jamming with us.
Yep.
So we jammed together for another 3 or 4 years, and then finally turned into the Damn Shames. And along the way, picked up Zach, and then picked up Shepard. You know,
Met
kind of been
Shep
rolling
through
with it.
Zach, yeah.
Yeah.
Shep was a groupie, actually, for a long time.
Long time.
Yeah.
So the groupie that got the dream of becoming part of the band.
Yeah.
So you guys are on the road a lot. I've seen a lot of social media posts lately about you guys. You're from Bowling Green area
Yep.
and Louisville.
Yep. Yep. Them two are Louisville, and then the rest of us are from Bowling Green.
What is the what's the music scene like out there for? And I want to talk about like what genre you guys' music is, because I was listening to it, and I want to get the official genre, but I have a personal opinion about it.
Yeah.
But
Good, 'cause
what's
we
the
don't
scene
know.
like out there as far as like what the your type of music?
But it used to be a big scene. Bowling Green was, like 2012, 2013, around in there, and then the older guys will say it was even bigger before then, but it's really died off a lot in the last few years. A lot of venues have closed up shop, and COVID didn't help that any. So it's obviously that's shrinking the amount of artists and bands and stuff that want to get out and do things. But there seems to be like I don't know, 4 of us, 5 of us, bands, artists around in there who are still getting after it all the time. The Josephines are from down there. I don't know, you may know them guys. Who else?
Daniel.
Kyle Daniel.
Oh, that was awesome.
He's a
Van
good,
Winkle.
real good buddy of us. Van Winkle on the
Yeah.
Spirits.
A lot of talented musicians.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Bowling Green.
Yep.
Sure.
A lot of great cats down there who's got their thumb in all kinds of things. Like Kyle, for example, he's an artist in his own right, been doing it for years and years and years. But he's also, taking a step back lately. Had a couple of kids, and he's been helping us with a lot of things because he's real smart with the industry. Been doing it for a long time. Went to school down in Nashville for music business, and is a real good songwriter. Has a lot of connections, and he's been helping us a whole lot here lately, especially since we really sat down and started working with him a couple weeks before the record come out to try to push that as hard as we could. But there's a couple of tracks on the record that were co-written with him and stuff like that. So it goes back even longer than that.
Yeah.
Which we all moved to Bowling Green, like the 2013 era. That's when we first met, because he was in a band and I was in a band. Because originally I'm from Burtsville, Kentucky, small little town. So I would come up to Bowling Green just to play shows because there was that many venues, and plus Nashville's only 45, 50 minutes away.
Yeah.
So we met each other through that circuit when the music scene was pretty happening. And then a few years later, I met him because he came from, where you living?
So I'm originally from Madisonville, Kentucky. It's Hopkins County. What's funny is I moved there in 2015, and I moved to Bowling Green strictly because there was a music scene and there was venues to play. And I mean, 10 years later, we're kind of looking at a barren shell of what it
Yeah.
used to be. It's the most pitiful thing you'd ever see. So it's
Yeah.
almost, I don't know, I kind of feel like it's almost a responsibility of ours to do our best to keep a foot there in the ground and, try to make noise and try to do something in the area.
Do you think is it a venue thing? Is it because Bowling Green's a college crowd too?
Yeah,
Like,
big-
is
yeah.
it just their taste of music
Yeah.
that's changing?
It's a little bit of both, but that's a big thing. It's it's a big factor in it because I don't know. It seems like now the more popular thing back when we were talking about a band that has no following or no name or just a cat that just come up a few weeks ago could have a room full of 250 people, and then now the popular thing is to go to clubs where dance music and EDM is playing and people just want to carry on and stuff. So that is a big factor, but
It's also weird because the college kids today, which is kind of hard to have your finger on the pulse of something when you're not even, we're not college age kids, but luckily we live in an area that's close to campus, so we can kind of gauge what people are into, and it seems like there is a lot more kids now at the college age who are into like country and southern rock stuff.
Yeah, country's getting cool again.
Yeah,
And maybe
Yeah.
we'll get lucky.
Yeah.
I think Bowling Green, it could be like that again if there was just people who are in like a management role who could run a venue and keep an eye on what kids and young people who are following music are into, because I think there's a huge opportunity for it to be like it once was, but somebody's just got to figure it out.
We got a place in Richmond, Kentucky called Bluegrass Barrel House, and early on it was it's still considered a music venue, but it's turned into a college bar. It's like the college being EKU right there in town.
Yeah.
They come out on the weekends. It's kind of like you said, a DJ. It's on stage, and it used to be, Charles Wesley Godwin played that stage. Whitey Morgan, Ward Davis, and all those guys early on.
Yep.
And now it's turned into they're so successful with the college crowd just having a DJ there that it's hard for them to go back and do like a Ward Davis and have it be a successful thing.
Right.
But
you almost can't blame them because they can also pay those
Exactly.
cats
Half the price.
half the price,
Yeah.
if less, if not less.
If I may, we used to do acoustic shows, myself and Trevor. That's the only thing we ever did. That's how we made money, everything. We went from these venues, going and playing these 3 or 4 hour shows to make, rent that week or that month or whatever. Went from playing 4 hour shows to then playing maybe an hour because the DJ is going to come in right after you, and then he's going to start playing pumping music.
yeah,
And it's
At
like-
11 o'clock.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
like the prime time when people would start rolling
Rolling
in.
That's right. Yeah.
And
I've had that experience before too, being on stage and being excited because people are rolling in. I'm like, all right, and then realizing they got a DJ right after I'm done.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you got people
And-
coming up to you asking you, "Hey, man, are you not gonna finish the night?" It's like it's not what they do anymore.
Yeah.
And I would get it if people come in and they're asking the bartenders like, "Hey, when are you gonna turn this shit off and get the DJ rolling?" But it's like that wasn't the case. So I never really understood it. That's what I mean by if management could just pay more attention to what people want, I feel like Bowling Green could be like what it was before. But
And it looks promising. There's a lot of things kind of up in the air that some people are trying to make some moves on. It's obviously a developmental deal, so it takes time. But there are some promising things on the horizon.
Yeah.
There's a big venue there in town that got not new management, but kind of got some new legs under them. The people on the ground, if you will, are actually kind of changing the old culture of how these people kind of think. You know what I mean?
That's
So
good.
it does look promising. It's going to take some time.
Do you guys get on the road quite a bit and travel to different states and go on tours and?
We try to stay in a region, we try to hit Kentucky and Tennessee and Ohio and Indiana and all that stuff around here close as hard as we can. Try to get a ball rolling in this neck of the woods before we branch out. But we do it as much as we can.
I've noticed your guys' names on some festival lineups
Yeah.
coming up.
Yep.
What
Yeah.
do you got coming up?
Yep, we got Americana Fest
Next weekend, Nashville.
next weekend in Nashville.
Mhm.
Yeah,
That's a big one.
At the basement. We're doing the Commonwealth of Kentucky showcase.
Oh, yeah.
And then we got Black Mountain Jamboree
Yeah.
in October 3rd. That's in Monticello, Kentucky. And then Norrell Fest is another big one in Scottsville, Kentucky, in October as well, October 18th, I think.
Mhm.
And then next year, there's no announcements or nothing signed yet, but we've done a lot of talking and meeting and handshaking with a lot of cats who run a lot of big music festivals here in Kentucky and stuff that happen every year, and we're hoping to turn out even more next year. So that's a lot of these shows. That's our goal. Honestly, we're playing a lot of the people putting on these festivals are also putting on all the other big ones that we want to be attached to. So, we're hoping to go down there and get their attention so that they add us next year.
Yeah.
Well, I was listening to you guys on the way here to Burl, and you guys have a really great sound. Like it's Southern rock. It's a Southern rock kind of sound, but I think since you're all Western, like out towards you're not Western Kentucky, but I think it's Western rock.
Yeah,
Is what
it's
I-
cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's Western rock.
Western rock.
What,
I like
Southern rock? It's Western rock.
We
You
got
like that?
a lady in an interview or review or something. She called it power country, which we've held on
All right.
to.
I like, yeah,
That's cool,
that's
too.
a good one.
That's cool too.
We had
I ain't never heard that.
no, I mean,
So I've been tickled over it ever since I heard it. I thought that was the funniest thing.
Power
Power
country
country.
makes you want to tune into it, just like, okay, what's
Yeah.
this all about?
what does
Yeah.
that mean? Yeah.
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 So somebody asked us like, what is our genre? I don't know because there's so many different influences that, like when you go into the studio and like how hands-on we all are with the production of each
Mhm.
song. I don't know how to answer that. So
I label it Americana anytime somebody calls me and say, hey, what's that big from?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it touches all of it, honestly.
Mhm.
To be frank, all we did was write songs and then put country-ish instruments on them, and that's it. We didn't set out to write a country song or an Americana song. We just wrote them, and whatever they were. And then when you throw a fiddle or a lap steel or harmonica or something like that on it, it kind of takes over,
Yep.
Mhm.
So
It changes it, man. I got my next project that's coming out. I'm calling it grunge country because it's kind of
Hell yeah.
I'm leaning into my when I was in high school, it was like the prime time of the grunge era.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
so I was like listening to all those bands. And when I started putting music out, it was like country music, singer songwriter, kind of like folky stuff. And
Mhm.
but this next project, I'm leaning into the grunge side of things. But it
That's
still has
cool.
a pedal steel in it.
right.
Yeah,
That's
that's
awesome.
so
So
Yeah,
it still
that
has
sounds
like
great.
country, but
We're
I
big
can't
fans
wait
of that
for
stuff
that.
too. We did a little Alice in Chains acoustic tribute duo for a little while.
hell yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
anytime they have us.
I think it's cool. I mean, as far as in terms of social media, you can talk way out the pros and cons. I think one of the coolest pros about like the new age and how we consume music nowadays is that there's people are putting so many subgenres in the big genres.
Yeah.
So now there's a taste for country and grunge, whereas 30 years ago, what?
Yeah.
Now it's like it's needed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there's like it's kind of already out to some degree, and it's like I love that type of stuff also.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know,
You think
mixing
because
all the influences.
I think it's maybe because we have a generation of kids that are coming up now that are completely used to technology. Like me for instance, it's kind of like that last generation that didn't have it growing up. We just kind of like loose. We weren't tethered to anything. But now everybody's got the phone,
Yeah.
and so we get so much content so quick, and everything changes all the time. And it's like that's why we have a variety of genres, and that's why I think it's gonna keep expanding, and to the point where it's like
Sure.
we used to have like you were saying, man, you used to have like 2 or 3 big groups that everything would fit into, but now it's almost impossible to put a label on anybody.
Yeah,
Right,
absolutely.
Exactly. Yeah. With all the influence, and I mean, there's no need to be fit into 3, 4, 5 different genres nowadays. Like an artist can be what they are, and it can be that.
Yeah.
And
Whatever it is.
popularity is like you can, if you think about it, like in the 70s and 80s, you find a band that you like, or you hear about a band that you like through word of mouth. Even the 90s, like you're talking about, like you don't really know how big they are or how received they are, but now you can kind of see like what's popular, how popular it is, why is it popular, like all the analytics and the breakdown of it. And I feel like for musicians who are starting, you you can't help but follow that stuff. It's like, what are people into? Why has this guy got 1 million views all of a sudden? What kind of music does he play?
Mm-hmm.
And that can be negative, but also I think positive in the sense of what we just talked about.
Yeah.
The there's gonna be 1 million different genres because of that fact alone.
Well, even for us, like, so we released singles for the last 2 years. Like, this record came out in singles pretty much, until we, got to like the last 3 or 4, and then we compiled it into a record and put it out. And when we were doing that, as we were pushing them through distribution services or whatever, I would give it whatever, I'd give that song whatever genre I thought that song fit in. So, every song we put out had something different. One of them was labeled rock, one of them was labeled country, something was labeled Americana, something was labeled pop. It was just depended on what song was coming out at the time. The record as a whole, we're forced to put one on it, and it takes country, just because that's the general consensus. But the whole record's full of, all of that stuff.
Do you think that when you're uploading your music and they ask you like what genre it is, and they usually give you the main and the sub.
Sub, yeah.
So, do you think there's an advantage of having a variety on the same album, or do you think it's like better to go? Because I was wondering about that on my last project too. It's like, should I have gone with just one or two?
Yeah, I think about that all the time, actually.
But I don't know. Have you seen, like, since your music's been out, have you seen like the numbers on a certain song, depending on what you selected as the group of what the genre was?
Yeah.
Have you seen that affect anything?
Not really. I feel like it everything mostly got most of its attention through like a country, playlist, and the people who were adding it and stuff tend to lean more country and stuff. So it seemed to all fit that. But like if the ones I labeled as rock or something, I didn't see like any dip in it or increase in it because of that or anything like that. But I think about that all the time. I'll select one and then for like a week be like, shit, should I have done something else? But I don't know if ultimately if it matters or not.
I don't know if there's any rules to this game, man.
Yeah,
honestly,
absolutely.
I think you just kind of make it as you go.
You was talking about technology a minute ago. Like, there is no handbook written on how a band is supposed to make a living nowadays. Where back in the day, we knew you just had to go play.
Yeah.
You go play, you put out music, you're gonna be fine. Nowadays it's like with what he just said a minute ago, talking about kind of following people or watching how people work their social media, and he was kind of talking about the waterfall releases, how we're releasing, singles. I mean, it's just like we're just throwing anything at the wall that might stick because there is no manual.
I would like to share that with you. If you got a release, you said you got a release coming up or whatever. We did get a lot of more traction slowly dripping it out like that than we did just dumping it all in one go.
Yeah.
Because people's attention spans are so short.
Yep.
Instead of working that hard on a record, dropping it, maybe everyone loves it for a couple of weeks, but then it's on to Justin Bieber's new album that he surprise released last night.
Yeah.
But then if you release them all as singles or whatever, you got a year's worth of drops. They get it for a month. About the time they move on to something else, now you're giving them another one. I thought that worked out pretty great.
Yeah.
It keeps your interest up too as a band to be like, okay, that song, it's out now. On to the next one. What's our release strategy for this next month for this song?
Right.
Right.
You're able to give
Yeah.
every song the attention
Yeah.
it deserves.
Yeah, we got to do that. We got to give them all individual artwork and make different reels and all the social media stuff you're supposed to do, and you got to focus on that one. You didn't have to worry about everything else at the time.
Yeah.
And when it was over, focused on another one.
Mm-hmm.
So it was cool. It was unique. We all also love records. We love albums, so that's what we did at the end. But I think it did a lot better than if we'd have dropped the whole record at the jump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, mainly being strictly independent and doing everything on our own too. We're kind of at the mercy of that. Even with, you asked us if we tour a lot, it's kind of like we have to play the shows that make sense for us. So it's like, okay, we're doing this on our own. What's the strategy to use for that? Okay, we'll only play shows that make sense in the region, so that hopefully people catch on and it starts building up to where we can eventually get farther out. And I think being independent like that and doing your own releases, I've learned through this band more so than any project ever before that everything has to have a strategy to it. Doesn't mean you know what it is or what's going to be right, but if you have that in mind at least, like taking that 1 month to squeeze the juice out of one song, because you can take a chorus and clip it up on TikTok with 15 different backdrops and post it 3 times a day.
And we shoot wrong sometimes. Sometimes we're wrong.
It's never going to be right if you don't get it wrong, or if you don't do it at all.
Yeah.
That's the only thing.
You gotta swing,
that's the
take
only
that
thing
swing.
that matters. You know? It just has to get done. If you don't do it, then it's like, might as well not even have put out the song.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I feel like there's been so many conversations that I've had out and about in a brand new city where I'm playing a show, where if I didn't have that one conversation, I wouldn't have got the next big show. You know, it could have been at a bar, we have a conversation, and it opened up an entire world of new places that I play because of that one conversation. I think sometimes social media is good for that with a song release, a single.
Yeah.
If you don't take that time, even a very short clip can get thousands of views on it. And maybe one of those people that saw it was like, hey, I know a place you can play, or they're a booking agent or something like that. But it can open up. But you gotta do it. It's kind of the climate we live in. You just gotta do it.
What's funny is we overthink everything. So we're all the time real sticklers about, we want the video quality to be top notch. We record also, so we want the audio quality to be top notch, and it's got to look a certain way. The average consumer, the reels and the music that we find acceptable, it doesn't need all that overthinking. You know, it just has to be good.
Yeah.
Ultimately, you know.
Well, we got, I don't know what we are as far as the time goes on this. Looks like we're about 20-something minutes in. This show, it's called Falling For. If you're just tuning in for the first time, I'm usually in a pickup truck with one person. This is the first full band for the Damn Shames. Make sure you check everything they're doing out. They're going to be playing a song here in a second. But before that, the premise of the show is kind of, we deal with challenges in life. We have moments that we're up, moments that we're down. And those moments where we pick ourselves up and we move forward, that's what I try to get. I try to get those truth bombs, or those little golden nuggets of life that we figure out as we go through life. But as a band, what's kind of the biggest challenge you guys have faced as a collective group of guys out on the road trying to make everything happen? And what have you done to get past that challenge, or to face it head on?
I think it would be mostly the fact that we all got to juggle day jobs the whole time. So this is not all we do. It doesn't pay the bills, not yet. So we all got to juggle day jobs and make that work, and that requires trying to see these things in advance as much as we can so that we can take off and make it happen. Or it means getting off work at 5 p.m. and driving 3 hours away to play a show, and not getting home until 3 in the morning and having to go right back in at 4, and then just having to tough that out all the time, and trying to keep your spirits high when it's tough like that. And just right off the rip, that's the first thing I think of, having to juggle all that all the time.
This is an active challenge that you can physically watch in real time. You're going to see how we're going to get over it. You will see. But right now, we're all day jobbing it out. 90, 100 hours a week for the longest time.
Yep.
Me and him do heating and air.
That's what I do
Addicts,
too.
brother, it's the worst.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's the worst, dude. I hate it. I look forward to the day when I don't have to do that ever again.
Like the whole time making that record and stuff was real tough because of that, and all of our time off was dedicated to that and that alone. The whole year or so we were making the record, and a lot of the record, like my vocals, for example, in between takes, I'd be on the phone with some idiot that I don't like at work, having to talk him through something, and then I'd put him on mute, and we'd cut a couple of vocal tracks, and then back and forth and stuff. And it's just every day you're like, God, get us out of this. But
and we were doing that for the album we worked on for almost 2 years.
Yeah.
So all the struggles of doing that, and then once we start releasing those singles, the little victories is what makes it worth it. So people telling you they like the song, but then when we put it out as an album, reviews started coming in, and you know, shows were getting offered, and it's like those are the little victories that make all the bad shit worth it.
Yeah.
So it's like, even though we have the long-term goal, and that's to not have to bust your ass and
Yeah, them-
work a day job. The little goals that you reach,
they get you through.
they get you
They get you through that 12-hour work day on no sleep
Yep.
because you played a show last night somewhere far away, and it makes it worth it.
Yeah. And those, you know, when something really great happens, and that will happen, you know, it'll happen in different times in your life, but you'll have a great thing happen, and all those little struggles kind of like, they shift in your mind. It's like something that was like pulling you down, or something that was like, man, this sucks. As that becomes a thing that was the reason this good thing happened.
Yeah,
Because if you didn't have all the shitty things that you have to kind of work through, the good things won't happen.
It's true.
You have to have the balance of both, and that's what I found in life, at least, man. And typically, when I have a series of things that don't seem like they're going just right, that's when I'm looking for that open window, that open door, because it's the next thing that has to balance all this out, one way or the other. So keep it up, guys. Keep it up, man. And look forward to I wish I was staying for the show tonight.
Yeah,
going to
us
see
too.
the Strays tonight, but
That's a great excuse though.
That is a
Yeah.
yeah.
it's
And I'm
not as
hoping
good
at
as
some
one you
point I
can
can
have.
sit down with them and have an interview with them. It's you know, in the future.
Right.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
But if you
man.
guys are watching this, show, maybe we can make that happen. But I want to hear a song. Can we do a quick impromptu little
Yep.
Heck yeah, man.
Absolutely.
acoustic set?
And thank you for having us on this. This
Yeah,
is
that's-
awesome what you're doing.
Thanks, man.
We appreciate it a lot.
It's just you know, I've had different opportunities in my career where interviews like this have helped. You know, it puts it
Right.
out to a new person. It's like, hey, I saw you on this thing, and now I listen to your music. I'm a fan. I come out, you know. So
Yeah,
that's
man.
what I try to do for my friends
It's
and
bad.
everybody trying to do the thing, man.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
what's this song called?
This one's called Another Spoke in the Wheel. This is the first one we ever put out. It's back in 2023, I believe it was. So the first off this record. All right. Another train passing through an empty town, only outbound, since corporate isn't sticking around. And giving up on promises that come hell or high water. Won't you pay no mind to the suffering of a man? Take your severance with a shake of my head. Drowning my worries in the river under sin. This bottle's gonna take me to the promised land. And walking the walk, talking the talk won't help me steer. 'Cause I've been working for the company down, dropped into the Peabody coal mines, watching the town turning like another spoke in the wheel. Oh yeah. Now the money talks, but it ain't been talking to me. Between the bank and the bills, it's a real fine line. I need to find something worth spending a lifetime on the grind for a little extra wealth. I'm burning it both in for light, 'cause no one makes a living off of wishing well. Drowning my worries in the river under sin. This bottle's gonna take me to the promised land. I'm walking the walk, talking the talk won't help me steer. 'Cause I've been working for the company down, dropped into the Peabody coal mines, watching the town turning like another spoke in the wheel. 37 years under the sycamore
gonna take me to the promised land. Walking the walk, talking the talk won't help me steer. Oh yeah. 'Cause I've been working for the company dime, dropped into the beat by the coal mines, watching the time turning like another spoke in the wheel. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Ooh. Turning like another spoke in the wheel. Yeah. Turning like another spoke in the wheel.
Hell yeah.
Thank you.
Great.
Appreciate
Another
it.
spoke in the wheel, the damn shames, y'all. If you're watching this for the first time, make sure you give Falling Forward us a subscribe. Make sure you follow everything we're doing. Go to the damn shames on Instagram, Facebook, Spotify, iTunes, wherever you get the music. Download their album. Put them on the playlist like they are the real deal. They're out here playing the Burl tonight. If I get this thing uploaded in time, maybe this video can find a couple people to get out here real quick
Yeah.
and
Heck
and
yeah.
watch you guys. But
Right on.
Awesome.
it's going to be a great show, great conversation. You guys keep it up, man.
Thank you, buddy.
Thank you.
We appreciate it very much.
Anytime, man.
Anytime. Thanks for doing
Yes,
this.
sir.
Hell yeah, man.
But all right, we'll leave you there. This has been an episode of Falling Forward.